Congressman, thank you for coming in. Let's start with funding. Would you support additional funding for the war in Iran if the Pentagon asked for it?
Look, Kate, the president, this administration entered this war without a plan. A real plan. Their current plan is based on hope that American air power is sufficient to bring the Iranians to their knees, and hope that the Iranian people rise up against this regime. And over the course of the last 2 weeks, I've not seen anything that looks like the Iranian people are in a position to rise up. And air power so far has not been sufficient to open the Strait of Hormuz. So I want to see a real plan. I want to know what the achievable objectives are. This president changes from moment to moment to unconditional surrender, from the unconditional surrender to taking out Iranian nuclear capabilities, which apparently just 8 months ago were completely obliterated. So I guess that was not true. And we don't know what this president is looking to achieve. So before we throw good money after bad, I'm going to want to hear a plan. And this president, frankly, has been very cavalier with spending about $1 billion a day in American treasure and American blood. We've now had 13 casualties. I was at the Dover dignified transfer ceremony just a week ago, and I watched those coffins go by. And I kept asking myself, the president was just in front of me, he's like 6 feet in front of me, said, when will this end, is what I'm asking myself. And we still don't have an answer to that. So, no, I'm not inclined to support the funding right now.
When it comes to the war, there's some interesting perspective on the role of Russia here. Trump believes that Russia might be helping Iran in the war. There's reporting that Russia has been offering Iran intelligence help when it comes to the war. Ukrainian President Zelensky just sat down with Fareed Zakaria, and he said this about what his intelligence team is confirming about it.
We saw intelligence shared with us some details, and it was Russian details in these Iranian drones. They said the first. And the second point is my intelligence told me next that they think that they share information, intelligence with Iranian regime. They help them.
Russia offering intelligence support to Iran. How should the United States respond to that? Because right now what we've seen is the Trump administration is moving to lift sanctions on Russian oil that is stranded at sea. And I've talked to many a smart person on energy security who says that Russia is just the big winner in that. But how can the U.S. respond to this?
Look, this is a very serious issue. It's obscene that the president would actually lift sanctions on Russian oil in this context. Over the course of the last couple of weeks, and this has been publicly reported, there have been extremely expensive, exquisite radar systems that have been destroyed by precise targeting. Apparently, some of these tanker aircraft in Saudi Arabia that may have been damaged, we don't know the extent of that damage, were targeted. And there is other information potentially out there that the Russians are providing to target American interests, American personnel. We should take this very seriously. This is obviously, the Russians are our adversary. They're not our friend. And the president is just waving his hand at this like, well, we support the Ukrainians, they support the Iranians. No, this is American blood and American treasure. We have had 13 casualties. For the president not to take this seriously is frankly outrageous. For him to lift sanctions at this moment is obscene and completely unacceptable. We need to hold this president's feet to the fire on this point. Just going back to that point about funding, some of my Democratic colleagues think that supporting funding is supporting the troops. No, I think it's the exact opposite. I think if you want to support the troops, we need to have a plan. We need to have achievable objectives, and we don't need to put soldiers in harm's way. I was deployed to Iraq. I know what that means. We can't put soldiers in harm's way without a plan, without an exit strategy.
Congressman Eugene Vindman, thank you for coming in tonight. I appreciate your time.